Bethesda Starfield is a game. It's definitely one of the most games of 2023. It's such a game, in fact, that fans opt to engage in political discourse about pronouns.
Oh my god, he has some pronouns. My pronouns are danger.
Danger. I am the danger.
Instead of quirky little spaceships. This is truly modern gaming. If you're anything like me and are a Bethesda shill, you have bad taste. Aside from that, fans have constantly clowned on the planet exploration concept, and while some of them are just there for the hate bandwagon, there is valid criticism to be made about the planet traversal.
Powerful.
Most planets are as densely packed as the average Bethesda fan's brain. Point of interest consists of industrial outpost number 386, some weirdly shaped rock, really dark caves that almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter, and worst of all, getting to said locations. All of them are spaced out a million kilometers away. The most entertaining gameplay aspect to be had is pressing the auto run and jetpack boosting every once in a while. I would describe the entire planet experience as wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle. Now that made me think, what similar game is small as a pod but deep as an ocean? Probably read the title. If you're not, you're probably illiterate. One game that did planet exploration better than Starfield, and no, it's not No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen if it ever releases. Believe it or not, it's Outer Wilds. Developed in 2019 by Mobius Digital and published by Annapurna Interactive, it's a game that every gamer who loves the medium has to play at least once. The Outer Wilds experience is that of a beautiful existential tragedy. One that I feel if I told you about its story in great detail, it would spoil it for you. A lot of people stand by this, and so do I. It's pretty cheap on Steam, and it has this insanely good DLC that I still haven't finished playing. I'm sorry. That being said, I need to talk about why this game is miles better at exploration than Starfield did and probably ever could. So I'll keep some major story spoilers at a minimum for those who don't plan on playing the game, which, you know, shame on you. To give a vague description of Outer Wilds, it's a game about time. It has heavy emphasis on the passage of time influencing the world around you. The game gives you an entire solar system to freely explore. There's no objective markers, no nothing. It's heavily reliant on the player's slow but methodical approach to surveying each of the planets to uncover information that contributes to the overall lore story, and all of it comes full circle eventually. Something that I keep looking for whenever I land in any or at least one of the Starfield planets is a unique gameplay-driven storytelling of a planet's lore. For example, planet Earth apparently got zapped of all of its nutrients when the atmosphere collapsed. This gave humanity 50 years to evacuate to a new planet before everyone melts under the heat of a normal day in the Philippines. This bit of lore was given through dialogue or books documenting it, and barely any information about what happened to Earth can be found on Earth itself. All you get is a snow globe, some tall structures, and then sand. Contrast this to the many planets in Outer Wilds, each with its own little quirks. My favorite planet to explore was Brittle Hollow, a bluish-purple planet which doesn't look too interesting from the surface, but inside is an underground city rich with lore tidbits about the civilization that lived before, as well as a massive black hole at its core. But yeah, I mean, is that something you should be concerned about? As you explore around, making sure to not interstellar yourself, you come to realize that it puts the brittle and Brittle Hollow as everything is crumbling faster than a Twitter user's self-esteem, and it's being attacked by its own moon called the Hollow's Lantern. If you're unlucky enough to fall inside of its black hole, you emerge out of a white hole. In the background, you see bits of the planet scattered around, and in front of you is a massive shuttle that you can go inside, read some lore about how it works, follow how it's engineered, and it slingshots you right back to Brittle Hollow's North Pole. Mind you, I haven't even scratched the surface of Brittle Hollow, and it's just one planet out of 10 locations that you can explore. Given each planet is literally so small you can accidentally jump out of orbit, but its content are so densely packed. It's like if Lace decided to fill their bags with chips instead of the Earth's atmosphere. The wonder of exploring these planets without any hand-holding is one of the integral parts of what makes it so engaging. It's completely up to you how you can explore more areas. There's an upside-down bridge with these anti-gravity crystals to get to the main city, but if you don't get there in time, a section of the bridge would get sucked into the black hole, thus cutting off your access to one of the major parts of the planet. The exploration aspect really goes in depth and pushes the boundaries of space and its confusing nature. The wonder of learning more about the planet keeps you coming back for more, and it's not at all repetitive. It's genuine replayability. In Starfield, the only reason why you're there in the first place because there is a landmark already marked for you, or you need resources for your epic Minecraft base. You never land on a planet because you're an explorer at heart and you want to be the next Space Magellan of Starfield. No, the planets are barely interesting for you to keep coming back to. Outer Wilds has created a unique experience for its individual planets that you can distinguish them from each other. Starfield has bland and boring points of interest that it kind of bleeds into each other, and it's absolutely disappointing. To be fair, environmental storytelling is definitely not where Starfield's strengths lie. I argue is given more emphasis through the NPC interactions that are written lore or quest lines. That still doesn't excuse the fact that none of the planets are half as interesting as the ones in Outer Wilds. Take, for example, Voli Alpha is a planet which is composed of water and more water.
I am under the water.
However, the game doesn't do anything to make this an interesting quirk. Settlers have constructed a major platform above the water and turned it into a city. That's it. They wasted such a good opportunity to use this premise to its fullest potential. Why not have skyscraper-sized tsunamis like in Interstellar? Okay, in hindsight, it's best they didn't program them into the game because my 1660 Ti has endured enough. Even without crazily GPU-intensive tsunamis, they could have let you at least explore underwater or have an underwater section of Neon comprised only of the upper class. I think that would make for a really great questline. I don't know, man. I'm just a consumer of the Bethesda slop. This Bayou fella has a pet house on the top floor of Neon, and instead of seeing night lights and towering structures, his view is just this bland Roblox survival disaster water. Yikes. In Outer Wilds, there is a planet called Giant's Deep. It's plagued with harsh storms that have top speed so strong it literally blows islands out of the atmosphere. Also, once you dive deeper, there lies an ancient force that's preventing you from going deeper into the ocean. Is it perhaps protecting itself from you? Or is it protecting you from itself? That is light years more interesting than all 1,000 planets in the game, Todd. Now, to be clear, I'm not going to go as far as to say the game looks like absolute dog shit. In fact, I think it's far from it. I sometimes just gaze at the sky and gawk at the sheer scale of everything amidst the boring walks from location to location. However, that's all there is to it. Most major cities in Starfield feel almost as if it wasn't designed for the planet. The location it's set in is merely an afterthought. You could interchange the cities and put them in a different planet and it would look out of place. Todd was like throwing darts at pictures of different planets to put them in. Starfield is basically all bark, no bite, all air, no lace chips. As much as I want this game to be a 10 out of 10, it's more or less a 5 out of 10. I still stand by the old adage that goes quality over quantity above all else. Outer Wilds has left such a huge impact on me in its environmental storytelling that it even has a AAA title beat. It goes to truly show that sometimes bigger is not better. Thank you for listening to a overly long size doesn't matter joke to make me feel better about my manhood. I'll probably write my analysis of Starfield if I ever feel like it or not. Let me know in the comment sections down below. I'm trying to dip my toes in the long-form analysis type content sphere, so all feedback from this is much appreciated. See ya, cheese bags.